Hello and welcome to Politics Tonight, where we dig and go beyond the headlines for informed analysis of major political stories in Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. With 26 days to the inauguration of the president-elect Bola Tinubu on May 29, the race to the leadership of the 10th National Assembly in June intensifies. On the interview segment for today, we focus on the battle for the Senate presidency in the 10th National Assembly. The South-South chairman and spokesman for the National Forum of APC LGA chairman, Nobot Sochukwu-Dima, as our guest. Welcome to Politics Tonight. Stay with us. We will be right back. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's bring you some stories. Members-elect from opposition political parties have resolved to contest the leadership seats of the 10th House of Representatives. To this end, they have set up an 11-man committee to hunt for credible and acceptable candidates that will throw their hearts in the ring and come out victorious. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
With more than 180 members in their kitty, the 7 political parties making up the opposition in the next house say they are united for their common good and the good of the nation. The minority reps-elect have christened themselves the greater majority and say all they seek is the unification of Nigeria along ethno-religious lines.
We are committed to this unity, to this progress, to this understanding that we shall work together to deliver to Nigerians the dividends of democracy.
We are here to support this initiative. We are here to support the agenda. We are here to support the ideology of this group.
After an extensive meeting of over 3 hours, the legislators-elect set up a committee to scout for credible and acceptable candidates that will vie for the speakership and deputy speakership seats. In another development, House Leader Alazana Dodogwa is now officially in the race to succeed Femi Gbajabiamila as Speaker at a well-attended news conference in Abuja. The legislator said he has paid his dues and it is time to reward his stewardship.
We will facilitate the development and implementation of citizen-centered collaborative interface with other state and non-state actors on matters relating to the legislature. We will also provide strategic leadership for the development of the medium-term plan of Parliament.
The only female aspirant in the speakership race, however, caused a stir with her appearance at the Dogwa declaration, but she says she does not do politics of bitterness.
I had to come and give him my support, and that's what a mother will do. And this will show Nigerians that I'm not just in the contest because I'm desperate. I am in it because I understand the diversity and the need for inclusivity.
The race to the exalted seat of Mr. Speaker promises to be an interesting one, with the array of members-elect that have signified interest. More interesting is the resolve of the minority caucus to partake in the exercise. But how well the aspiration of those high in the seat is managed will certainly go a long way to set an agenda for the 10th House of Representatives. Joke Adisa, TVC.
Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State for his contribution to his victory during the February 25 presidential election. Tinubu stated this when he inaugurated the Rumukwata flyover in Port Harcourt, the state capital. The president-elect was in the state at the instance of the governor who had supported power shifts to the southern region of the country during the presidential election. He thanked Governor Wike for declaring Wednesday as her holiday in honor of his visit to the South state. Earlier, Governor Wike revealed that his administration has so far constructed 12 flyovers and some major roads in the state, including federal roads. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, as well as the governors of Jigawa, Ebonyi, Kwara, Imo, among other states, were also in attendance.
I thank God today you have honored our invitation. You have fulfilled the promise you made to us that you are coming to commission this project. Your Excellency, I'm proud because my leader, our mentor, the man who God used to bless all of us who are touring politicians today, Sir Dr. Peter Lee, I'm sure he's happy that his son did not embarrass him.
It is an honor and privilege to be in your midst today. I am a very happy man. Ism, I say thank you for your contribution to my victory. I couldn't have done it without some structural support, as not describable in a flyover. In His Excellency, I see a man of principle who took a principle. Presidency must return to South, and he has the courage to stand by his convictions, not minding whose ox is gone. He is indeed a man of great integrity. You promoted unity. You promoted fairness. You championed justice.
All right, so let's take a short break, and when we return, it will be time to speak with our guest of the day, who is the South-South Chairman and spokesman for the National Forum of APC LGA Chairman, Norbert Sochukwu-Dima, for discussion on the battle for the Senate presidency in the 10th National Assembly. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Tonight, digging beyond the headlines, and now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am joined by the South-South Chairman and spokesman for the National Forum of APC LGA Chairman, Norbert Sochukwu-Dima, for discussion on the battle for the Senate presidency in the 10th National Assembly. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, sir.
I'm glad to be here. Good evening, viewers.
Good evening to you. Now, the race to the leadership of the 10th National Assembly is getting hotter. Let me have your view about this.
Yeah, it is expected. What is happening now is expected. The general elections have come and gone. And what it is now is to talk about governance. And choosing the leadership of the National Assembly is part of what governance will bring. And if you check what is happening in the nation, we have 6 major geopolitical zones. And in these 6 zones, 2 zones are already taken care of by the virtue of having the president-elect from the southwest and the vice president-elect from the northeast. The 4 remaining zones and those who have been successful in the election, victorious in the elections, will be making frantic effort to occupy one of these top positions to support the government. So it's expected. It's expected.
But from what we've seen so far, there are so many zones laying claims to the leadership of both chambers. Do you think it's too early when the APC is yet to zone the positions?
Yeah, I do not think it's too. If you see what is happening now, everybody is making an effort. Every zone, the remaining 4 zones, desire to have one of the 4 top positions. Despite that, they are all relying also that the National Working Committee, national leadership of the ruling party, the APC, which has majority of the elected National Assembly members, will zone, and they are ready also to follow the zoning. But the interest that they are expressing, the agitation, the claims that different zones are laying to this will go a long way to impact on what decision the ruling or Progressive Congress will take with regard to the zoning. So what is happening is normal. They also are doing it, but no matter how much anybody talks about any zone that they want any position to go to, they won't zone until the leadership of the Progressive Congress does so.
All right, if you say the lobbying is not too early, juxtaposing this with the fact that the APC leadership is yet to zone the positions, will this not cause acrimony for those who are already vying for the posts later?
Not necessarily. The lobbying, as I said earlier, the lobbying will help the national leadership of the party in making their zoning. If contenders don't show interest, a lot of things will go wrong at the end of the day. But what is happening now, as they are showing interest, it will help the leadership of the party to decide where the zone. As what you're saying that is early, by the special grace of God, after the inauguration of the president-elect and the vice president-elect May 29, at early June, by the grace of God, the National Assembly will be inaugurated, and this leadership will take place. So it's not far at all. What they are doing is not too early. It's the right time, the proper time to do it.
All right, so Pastor Norbert, for the purpose of clarity, how will this help the leadership of the party make a stance?
Oh, beautiful. I will take from the forum that I represent and I speak for. I know you are aware that I'm not here in my personal capacity. I'm here speaking and representing the National Forum of Local Government APC chairman, the party chairman across the nation. What we are doing now, we had our press to congratulate our leader. That press conference was read out by the national chairman and coordinator of our forum, Honorable Matthew Horn. He read it where we congratulated our president-elect, the vice, and all APC candidates, those who ran for governorship, the Senate, House of Rep, and State House of Assembly. We congratulated them. And from there, we issued a statement, press statement, where we expressed ourselves to lend our voice. So what is happening now is to allow different support groups within and outside APC to lend their voices towards the decision that will be finally taken by the leadership of the party. And in that press statement, we, President-elect, the critical stakeholders, even the progressive governors forums, we made passionate appeal to them that these 4 positions, the Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Reps, and the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps should be zoned to the remaining 4 political zones for equity, inclusiveness, for fairness, for unity. And in that interview also, we made it clear the area we desire for so many obvious reasons that this position should be zoned to. For instance, we made that appeal, and I'm seizing this opportunity on behalf of our great forum to appeal passionately again to our leaders that in doing this zoning, Southeast should be considered for the Senate presidency. The Senate president should be zoned to the Southeast. We are begging, we are appealing, we are not forcing them, but we know they will listen to our voice. Then, in that also press release, we talked about the Deputy Senate President to be zoned to the North Central, the Speaker to the Northwest, and the Deputy Speaker to the South, so that all the 6 geopolitical zones will be taken care of. So this kind of statement that we made, and we are following up through our leaders in the various local government and states and senatorial districts, will help the leadership of our party in taking their decision when the time comes.
All right, so these are some of the talking points that have shaped the conversation on the choice of the Senate president. So we're going to be looking at the laying claim to the Senate presidency to balance the power equation. How feasible is this with what is on ground?
How do you mean what is on ground?
There are a lot of indications, various interests playing out already.
Okay. politics is dynamic. All you see are just intrigues. At the end of the day, the major place will take that right position. But it's feasible, quite feasible. As a matter of fact, the Southeast stands the best chance of taking that position of Senate presidency. The reason is this. As I posited earlier, the Senate president-elect is from East. The vice president-elect is from Northeast. We now have the Southeast, the South-South, North Central, and Northwest. North Central, for instance, as of today, has the national chairman of our party. The Northwest, as today, also helped us during the election, and they have the current president. The South-South has also my own leader, able leader, capacity leader, who led us through our election to deliver massively for our president, the current deputy Senate president, Senator Ovie Omo Agege. Then if you talk about Southeast, currently, and for quite a period of time, there's not much of what you can hold on that they have. So for unity, for equity, for peace, for inclusiveness, that these people who are Nigerians, pure Nigerians from that zone, will have a sense of belonging. They stand the best chance of getting it. And my confidence again is in the kind of president-elect and the vice president-elect we have, and in the kind of leadership of the all-progressive that we have. These are leaders who are sensitive to the yearnings of the people. We've lent our voice, and we are going to continue to talk about it, that what we need to do, what our incoming president needs to do with his team to succeed, is to run government of inclusion, government of inclusiveness, government of unity. It will give us peace. Some level of agitation, misgivings in the Southeast will die down. Anybody who is looking elsewhere, say this, politically and otherwise, will have different kinds of interest. There is selfish interest. There is personal interest. There is collective interest. There is national interest. And there is selfless interest. Whosoever wishes well for Nigeria, whosoever desires that Nigeria will unite and remain united, remain peaceful and progressive, will be more interested in the national interest. What will give us national unity? And what will give us that national unity in this coming administration? It's simply, very simple, zoning the Senate presidency to the Southeast. Let those, our wonderful brothers and sisters, have this feeling, have this sense of belonging. If I were a selfish politician, I'll be talking about South-South, because that's where I'm from. Interested was taken. We judged the matter, talked about it, analyzed everything. I would have made so much case with God's given voice for my zone. But because I am more interested in the unity, in the peace, in the progress, in the inclusiveness of every Nigerian, we all settled that this should go to the Southeast. And this message we are passing to our leaders, begging and appealing to them that they do this, and will have the desired Nigeria, greater Nigeria, that of renewed hope that Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu is bringing to us.
So, Pastor Norbert, I mean, the South-South is also vying for the position of the next Senate president. Do you agree it should be zoned there? Basically because for reward based on the outcome of the presidential election.
Okay. Talking about that, yes. I said earlier, all the 4 zones, especially the 2 zones from the South, the Southeast and South-South, reserve the right to want to desire or claim that. But putting these issues on ground, you now know where it will give us national cohesion, national unity, national peace and progress more. I am from the South-South by the special grace of God, and the feeling we have is different from the feeling that the Southeasterners have. The feeling we have from the South is that by the grace of God, we have produced a president of this country for about 6 years, and we also had produced a vice president for the short period of time. Currently, we have deputy Senate president. If you see what played out during the presidential election, is this feeling I'm talking about, this agitation. The Southeasterners since 1999 have not had the opportunity of coming close to clinching the power of the president of this country. So when Peter Obi came up, almost all the Southeastern people embraced it. I have listened to a conversation where some are saying that the Southeasterners didn't give APC the needed vote. So for that reason, they should not be given Senate presidency. I totally, with all sense of responsibility, disagree with that notion. If you listen to the governor of Anambra State, Governor Chukwuma Soludo, there was a time he made a press statement. People made mockery of it. Some people accused him. Some people abused him. But you know what he said in that statement? If he were Bola Tinubu, he would have given Peter Obi money. Because what Peter Obi was doing in that election was just like he was working for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let me tell you, technically, strategically, the Southeast votes that they gave to Peter Obi helped our victory as a party. The way he helped it is that if Peter Obi had not run under another party against Atiku, and the Southeasterners followed them, followed him, followed his party, and delivered those votes, most of those votes may have gone to Atiku, and it would have been very difficult for us to get the result. So, one way or the other, the Southeasterners contributed immensely to our victory. That is on one side. On another side, the votes we got, you see, for anybody to have campaigned for APC in the Southeast in this past election, after 24 years that they have not had opportunity, and there is a Southeasterner that was running in that election also, it was a very difficult thing. So I praise all of them, all the APC people in the Southeast who worked hard, worked assiduously to give us the vote. In Imo State, we got over 60 or 66,000. In Ebonyi, about 40-something thousand votes. These people were not ghosts. They are people, they did that because they believe in APC. They believe in Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They believe in Kashim Shettima. They believe in the entire leadership of APC. That's why, against all odds, against the popular desire of an average Southeasterner, these party faithfuls put up their party, fought for us, and give us victory. Can we now say, because majority of the Southeasterners failed or did not vote for our party, that we should punish those who brought out their time, risked their life, and gave us vote? It will be unfair if anybody does that. Besides, elections have come and gone. The president-elect is not going to be the president of APC. He's the president of Nigeria. The vice president-elect is the vice president of Nigeria. Then the Senate president we are talking about is not going to be a Senate president of APC. He's going to be a president of Nigeria Senate. Whether anybody voted for you or not is immaterial. What is important is that we have a united nation. We have a nation, a country where everybody will have sense of belonging. Will feel that I am part of this nation. I need to contribute my quota. That is what is important. And I am very happy and confident when I speak in this matter, because I know Bola Tinubu, the president-elect. He is not going to witch hunt or punish anybody. He will do everything to carry. I listened to his statement at Rivers State today when he went there to commission some project. He said, I will not marginalize any region. Southeast feels marginalized for a long period of time, giving them this Senate presidency, which I know, by the grace of God, our leaders will tilt to us, will make them have sense of belonging, and they will no longer feel marginalized. So, my dear people from the South, if I were left alone, maybe I would have said, okay, let this go to the South. But that would be personal interest. That would be selfish interest.
Pastor
And
Lambert,
besides, what I am advocating. Okay,
so
please allow me to drive this point home.
All right.
Yeah, what I'm advocating here is not just for me as an individual. This is a decision of the Forum of APC party local government chairmen across the nation. The leadership of this forum met and agreed on these positions that I am articulating.
All right, so based on this point, is it fair to say that the race may just be between the South-South and the Southeast? Because some political analysts have urged senators from the Northwest vying for the Senate presidency to drop their ambition in the interest of fairness and equity. Is this enough reason for them to step down?
Absolutely. Any realistic person, realistic politician that is not selfish and overambitious from the North will not be running for Senate presidency. This race of Senate presidency, from the look of things, is just between the Southeast and the South-South. And we as a forum believe that Southeast is better positioned. It will pay us better as a nation if it is taken to Southeast. So absolutely it's between the Southeast and South-South, but the Southeast has more advantage, as it were.
Yeah, but most of them are like Yari, Barao are still in the race. Why do you think they are yet to drop their ambition?
Yeah, there is no law anywhere that forbids them from running. Anybody can run. But what happens at the end of the day? You see, during our build-up to the general elections, the progressive governor forums met and resolved that since our current president, President Muhammad Buhari, will be rounding off, that power must shift to the south. In that primaries of APC, some persons in APC from the north also contested for the primaries. But what happened? The decision of the majority, the leaders, the critical stakeholders of the party prevailed. If you check the result of that primaries, the first position, Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the south. The second position, Rotimi Amechi from the south. The third position, Professor Shibanjo from the south. So these senators from the north reserve the right to run, but their running will not make any impact. That is my candid opinion. It's not make any difference. The Senate president, as a matter of fact, we hope and believe that the leadership of House. Yes, from our forum, we also considered it also. In our forum, after we pinned down Southeast for Senate president, our humble suggestion is that the deputy Senate president should go to the North Central, and Northwest should produce the speaker. Then the South-South will have the deputy speaker. This was what exactly the content of our prayer statement. That is what we are advocating. That is what we are praying. But most sure that the speaker will come from the North, either North Central or Northwest, because Northeast already has the vice president. So however it goes, Southeast Senate President, South-South Deputy Speaker, Northwest Speaker, North Central Deputy Senate President. This is what the leadership of our forum are advocating. This is what we are conversing, appealing, begging our leaders to consider this. And again, in making all this, we didn't just do it without also taking into cognizance, do we have leaders in these areas who will be capable of delivering the needed peace, the needed unity, the needed synergy that we have? Yes. that these positions should be taken to. We have leaders in mind, and those leaders statement. For instance, the Southeast, we have two ranking senators. So I'd like to talk about the two ranking senators in the Southeast. Most distinguished Senator Osita Izunaso and Senator Ojo Zokalo. We as a forum, the forum, National Forum of APC local government chairmen, settled and endorsed most distinguished Senator Osita Izunaso, and we have our reasons. He has sterling leadership qualities. Number one of those qualities is accessibility. Number two is competence. Number three is experience. He was in House of Rep till 2003 and went to Senate from 2003 to 2007 before he worked for the party as National Organizing Secretary of our dear party. Before he has experience. He's a first-class material. And he's a loyal party man. He's not over-ambitious. You see, what happened in the 8th National Assembly, I pray our party, the leadership of our party, will not allow it to repeat itself. Where the APC Senator-elects were having meeting with the national leadership on whom to deliver. Senator Bukola Saraki collaborated with the PDP and they emerged as the Senate President. Ekweremadu emerged from the PDP. You have a Senate President from the ruling party and a Deputy Senate President from it. Was because the party at that point, at that moment, didn't do what we are begging and asking that is ambitious as that. The Senate President, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will not enjoy his leadership like the way Muhammadu Buhari suffered in the hands of the the leadership of the 8th Assembly. There was no synergy. There was no cooperation. So, but Osita Izunaso, we provide to Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu the needed cooperation, the needed synergy, because he is cool-headed. He has listening ears. He pays attention to the downtrodden, to the people. And that is the kind of leader we have. Never again would we allow someone who only sees his fellow big men, who only sees those who want something from them, of what the people at the grassroots level need. We are advocating this because we are grassroots leaders. We are grassroots mobilizers. We are closer to most of these people in the grassroots than these big leaders. Osita Izunaso has proven beyond any reasonable doubt that he can lead the Nigeria. And remember, the Senate President is the chairman of the National Assembly. So someone who will occupy that position.
Pastor Norbert, very interesting conversation, but we will have to take a break now and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Of the Fed, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, led in by His Excellency the Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Ezenwawike, CON, GSSRS Life Bencher. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Please remain standing as we take the opening prayers, please.
May we invite Venerable Richard Opara to take the opening prayer.
Let us pray. Father Almighty, we thank you for this day you have given and for the safety granted all who are here for this occasion. Lord, we pray your presence here with us. And grant that all we here do will be to the praise and glory of your name. Grant this petition, for we make it through the merits of same Christ our Lord. Amen.
You may be seated, please. We'll give you a few minutes to settle in. On behalf of His Excellency, the Executive Governor, Nyesom Wike, CON, and his lovely wife, and on behalf of all the beautiful and hospitable people of Rivers State, Your Excellencies, it is a great honor to welcome to the state banquet in honor of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to bring him into this event. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here tonight in a celebration that is like no other. Nights like this go beyond the merriment, the compliments, and the entertainment. Nights like this cement the very fabric of our togetherness. Tonight, as we gather, we celebrate excellence, history, culture, music, our culinary diversity, and of course, our oneness, as celebrated in the national anthem and binds all of us together as one. Tonight, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it will be difficult to recognize everyone that is sitting in here tonight. On my left side is enough dignitaries, respected dignitaries and Nigerians to cause a change in any sector of the country. But an honor like this is being bestowed on the President-elect because of what he stands for. But beyond that, because of who is hosting him. So as we gather here tonight, to let you know that there's a lot that we will do, but we would please ask that our distinguished guests honor us with a blanket recognition, because if we begin to recognize everyone here tonight, we would not leave. That said, I would like to invite the SSG, Dr. Tammy Wenike Dagogo, to please come give us a welcome remark to highlight and signpost why this evening is important. Please give him a round of applause.
Your Excellency, the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, our leader, the governor, the indefatigable governor of Rivers State, Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezenwo Wike, Commander of the Order of the Niger, Grand Service Star of Rivers State, Life Bencher, and the Infrastructure Governor of Nigeria, is here with his erudite and amiable wife, Her Excellency, the Honorable Justice Suzette Nyesom Wike. Their Excellencies, other governors in our midst, Your Excellency, the former Governor of Rivers State, Sir Dr. Peter Odili, is also here with his erudite and amiable wife, the Honorable Justice Mary Odili, JSC retired, and all other former governors in our midst, distinguished senators in our midst, honorable ministers, Right Honorable the Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, and all other members of the National and State House of Assembly, my Lord the Chief Judge of Rivers State and all judges in our midst, all the distinguished elder statesmen in our midst, my Lord spiritual and temporal, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me crave your kind indulgence to please rest on the protocols the Master of Ceremony has established. The protocol tonight is so overwhelming. I don't want to do violence to what has already been established. Let me, on behalf of His Excellency the Governor, the government and the good people of Rivers State, welcome all our distinguished guests to this state banquet in honor of our dear President-elect. Let me particularly welcome our President-elect and your distinguished entourage to this state banquet, and indeed to Rivers State, the treasure base of the nation. I want to thank you on behalf of Rivers people for this visit. We know that this is the first state you are visiting as President-elect on a walking visit. We are very grateful. It means a lot to us. Tells us not just that you value our governor, but also tells us that you truly love Rivers State and her people. I must say that this visit has reassured us that our votes for you, sir, is not in vain. It is a worthwhile investment in our glorious future. And we thank our governor for leading us aright. Because we believe strongly, Your Excellency, Mr. President-elect, that magic wand you use to transform Lagos to a center of excellence, you bring it to bear on Nigeria as a whole, and this country will become a country of excellence. This is one moment in our national history when I believe that preparation, experience, competence, courage, and commitment has met the right opportunity in providing leadership for our country. Indeed, greatness beckons on Nigeria. I want to thank you immensely on behalf of the governor and the good people of Rivers State for this auspicious visit. And on that note, I want to welcome you, your distinguished entourage, and all our distinguished guests to this state banquet. I wish you bon appetit. Welcome, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, culture and history do not only entertain or make us happy. Together, those two core parts of our society help to define our essence and our being, and to further cement and prove that we cannot do without our culture. Please welcome the Rivers State Arts and Culture performance. Please give them a round of applause.